Yes, we have a game at hand here between Jasp and Keech. It's a week number 4 game. In week number 5, most people have, oh, no one has played yet because everyone hopes for a fix of the MG bug. Or not MG bug, but currently MG balance. It's not really a bug, it's game is as intended, but the version that is, like, yeah, it's currently kind of broken how strong the MG3 and the PPK are. So yeah, it's kind of busted, and hopefully Eugen fixes it this week. And then we will have some more week 5 games, because week 5 games will be on Black Forest. For week 4, as there's only 4 1 maps, 3 before Black Forest, we had to go back to 2 ways. So same map as in week number 1. And we have in front of us Jasp on the left side playing 39th Guards Motorstrelky, and on the right side Keech playing 5th Panzer Division. And yes, 5th Panzer Division is currently the meta deck. There's 39th with the MG balance as it is, not that bad, but not quite on the level of 5th. Doesn't quite have the cheap tanks and so on. Like, the Soviets currently struggle in not having a cheap tank. Once they get the T-62, that might change. With the T-62 coming for these divisions might become more viable because they have more variety in the level of tanks they can bring around. As they will get the T-62 replacing the T-64 in those divisions, if I remember correctly. That's the plan of Eugen. And giving those decks a bit more variety and quality of tanks. So, yes. This is the beginning of this game. Let's see who can make it in game number 1. As always, it's a best of 2 in Swiss style format. Will be same for the May tournament that you can sign up for now. And yeah, information for all you on YouTube will be down below for the sign up to the monthly tournament. Keech is coming in here with some Jäger of Clevers. Classic 6 recon unit start on his side, 7 recon units so far on Jasp's side. Did I pause it? I don't think so. No, there's movement. Yeah, they're still in the setup. Usually setup in Warno is a bit quicker. I already fast forwarded it a bit in the replay, but I didn't quite double check how long they would take, and I guess they take a bit longer than I expected. So let's wait and see. And how's everyone, chat? How are you all doing? And yeah, do you look forward to the new 2 divisions that will hopefully come out this week? That's the hope. Because also in the May tournament we will have 2 bans. Because the hope is that we, at the beginning of the May tournament, will have 8 divisions. At the end of it, 10 divisions. So with 2 bans, that should be somewhat fine. Yeah, also eliminating OP divisions at that point. And bringing in a bit more variety into what divisions will get played. Me-24 coming in here for Jasp. Jasp overall going for quite some forces into the center. Not too many units around here. Maybe on the other side. Also, most forces going for the center here for Keech. In the north, not as many forces for him either. So Jasp could exploit that, could push in here. Doesn't do so though. Rajavetkas and Quensis moving into the center. Me-24 trying to find some targets to hit with its rockets, but has to be careful with 2 Gepards on the way. No Rolands, but Gepards can be quite dangerous for any Me-24 as well. Motorstrelky coming around. Rajavetka coming around as well. The ADBV. Motorstrelky BMPs as well. A BRM in the north. Meanwhile, Krenzer chilling out in the south. Roland 2 coming in here as well. Tony Mox disengaging. Wait, okay, Me-24 fired some rockets. Not really hitting much just yet. Hitting quite well onto the Jäger of Clevers, and with the rocket buff, on helicopters. These are really effective, especially against stationary targets, but also versus moving targets now. Pinned down the Jägeraufklärer quite quickly. Not able to kill them off just yet, but rocket helicopters are a beast now. They still cost a lot to reload though. So you have to use the rockets wisely. And something you really want to avoid is using rockets on transports. Because they still don't kill the transports that quickly, and using them on transports is a waste of the ammunition. Gepards now come around. Mi-24 not taking too much damage just yet. What the hell? Okay, now we start seeing some damage. And Mi-24 didn't disengage fast enough, so it will stay stationary while it's being stunned, and that means the Gepards will be able to find the kill. Jasp now at a +2, as Jasp is the first to bring in command units. On the other side, first command unit now being called in with Ultis leader. But Keech for sure having a good start there by killing off the Mi-24 after only losing one infantry unit to it. T-80BV and BMP-3 trying to engage a Leopard. BMP-3 already going down. T-80BV has to be careful. Goes down as well. Not a good start for Jasp in the center whatsoever. Su-24 comes in with clusters, but the Gepard and the Roland get the kill. And the cluster bomber also doesn't get the kill on the Leopard. Leopard still alive. Is quite low now, down to 2 hit points, but still alive, still can dish out damage. And there is nothing really around to kill it easily. So the Leopard will keep on fighting. And this is a horrible start for Jasp. Jasp on the +4, but this is not good enough here in game number 1. More Motostrelkis with Medis coming in. Leopard 2 is doing its job over here. The 50 LAA disengaging. Tornado with HE bombs coming in. Ooh, hitting surprisingly well. Getting a couple of kills in. Sicherungs coming in here as well. Motostrelki and BTR engaging over here. Gepards also helping out with some fire support. And as there are no ATGMs around here for Jasp currently, no BMP-3s, no Motostrelki Medis around currently in the center, the Gepards can use their guns on range, and the Leopard can also engage onto the infantry without having to worry too much. Su-24 coming around again, will get killed off by the Gepards, will get the kill on the Leopard at least, but losing both cluster bombers already is Jasp. And I don't think that's worthwhile. To be honest, I don't think that's worthwhile. I'm pretty sure that was not a good play whatsoever. As you can also see, the infantry of Jasp gets annihilated here by the infantry of Keech. Gepard's helping out as well. Sicherung's currently not that worthwhile because LMGs are still the king of the battlefield. So infantry without an LMG is not that great. Those Sicherungs are also dirt cheap. So as cannon fodder, they still work out somewhat well. And also interesting to see Jasp using BM1 piece instead of only BMP3s. Usually with 39th, the meta is to just use BMP3s. Because BMP3s are actually capable of dealing with infantry pretty well. And they have a fast flying ATGM. So yeah, surprised to not see BMP3 only here. Another BMP3 comes in from the south with its Saklos ATGM, the 100mm and the 30mm autocannon. It dishes out pretty good damage against any soft targets. And the ATGM also dangerous against Gepards or Rolands for sure. Not so much against Leopard 2s, but against Leopard 1s it also can kill them off pretty effectively. BMP3 over here engages Panzer Grenadiers. You can see it stuns them down pretty quickly. Has to be careful though. It's getting close and the Panzer Grenadiers will have a Panzerfaust to attack onto it. Panzerfaust won't one-shot BMP3s, but does exactly 5 damage here. BMP3 now disengaging. Should be Out of range. Yeah. Okay, gets the kill. Planes now coming in from Keech's side. Keech on a +2 now. Brings in another Leopard 2 in the middle. BRM1 is engaging the Leopard 2. Does some damage with a side shot, but will get one-shotted by the Leopard in retaliation. BMP3 down here as well by now. Not much for Jasp in the south. This is quite pushable for Keech, but Keech doesn't have any forces there just yet. Brings in more forces for the center. Both sides completely focused on winning the center at the moment. Question is, who can do it? And currently I would favor Keech. And this matchup has AA around. There's a couple of Iglas, but not enough to really threaten any plane. Leopard 2 is around as well. Cluster bombers for Jasp are down. SU-22 coming in with a really good bombing run, but most likely will go down or not. Oh, SU-22 got out and got 3 infantry units. That's the risk of stacking infantry units in one building. Also means that they will all get hit at once. And that bombing run was really effective. Killing off 3 infantry units at once, though most of them were Sicherungs. If I remember correctly, it was 2 Sicherungs and 1 Panzer Grenadier. So not the most valuable infantry units, but still 3 infantry units in one run, and keeping the plane alive is a good run for sure here for Jasp. Bringing the game a bit back for him, as he has to do some work to catch up to Keech's advantage by now. Keech now has a couple of Leopard 1s as well, the good combo of Leopard 1A5s and Leopard 2 that you see a lot currently with the 5th Panzer meta. Couple of BMP 1Ps coming around here for Jasp. More BMP 1Ps, okay. So really not that big of a fan of the BMP3, which is interesting. More on the cheap end. I mean, BMP 1Ps still have an ATGM, and they're 25 points cheaper, so you nearly get 2 of them. Obviously, you have to bring them with infantry, so amount-wise you get the same amount, but you get them cheaper. You nearly can afford 2 of them for 1 BMP3. But the BMP3 obviously has, first of all, a more accurate and also way faster and also slightly more deadly ATGM with a bit more range as well. So like on the same range, I think the BMP3 has 2 or even 3 more damage than the ATGMs or the Malyutka of the BMP 1P. Sicherungs here getting engaged. Motostraki versus Jäger. Jäger are pinned down. The RPK doing a good job here. Motostraki disengaging for now. Malyutka flying towards the Leopard. Can they find the connection? Ooh, they all miss. This is not good. BM1P also trying to use their gun. Malyutka finally connecting. And they get the kill. Leopard 1A5 coming around here as well. BMP's not doing too badly. Other BMP trying to move up onto the hill. Trying to get good connection there. Hooks with Milan gets hit as well. The ADBV coming in over here. Leopard 1A5 gets a kill. MiG-23 MLA flying around. It's a 50-50 when it comes to points. Or like 6-6. As no one controls the center just yet. Nobody tried to sneak one in here just yet. ADBV using its Cobra ATGM. Trying to hit the Fuchs. One of the advantages of the Russian tanks that they outrange other main battle tanks with their ATGMs. So on long range open field engagements, those can be quite powerful, especially against medium level tanks like the Leopard 1A5, where they deal quite a bit of damage with the ATGM. Obviously against Leopard 2s or the Abrams, they don't do as much. Tornado here gets hit by the Igla, but as I said before, a single Igla not really threatening them with a shutdown, and I feel like that's always what you should go for. Like, either invest into no AA or invest into enough AA that you can shoot down an enemy plane, like Keech did here. Gets a shutdown onto Jasp's plane here with the Gepard plus Roland 2 and even Roland 3 in the rear combo. On the other side, we now see the first OSAs arriving to improve the AA situation in the center. Motostraki getting a kill onto the transport truck, onto a Unimog. That's TADBVs and BMP3s now engage onto a Leopard 1A5. Leopard 1A5 disengages after being hit by a couple of ATGMs, down to only 3 hit points. Jaeger over here gets hit by BMP3 as well. And once they are accurate, like after a shot 2 or 3, they really start to dish out damage. Or if they get some lucky hits before. Ooh, that was close. Motostruckies with Maddies nearly hitting the Leopard there. Got out of line of sight just in the last second. Or I guess it was the BMP3, not the Motostrucky. And Jasp is neutralizing the point in the rear with a BMP3. Good play there. Brings in a leader for the center as well. Is back up to a +2. Might go up to a +5 if this TADBVK can make it into the center. Question is if that will actually happen, as a couple of Jaegers here in the forest for Keech are closing onto the road. If they could get their Panzerfausts into the side of this TADB, they could be quite deadly. BMP3s though, on the long range now, doing some good hits. Ooh! Motostrucky Maddies hitting the Leopard here, already dealing 5 damage. Leopards have to be careful. BMP3 though now has to be careful as well, as the Leopard, yes, one-shots it. Motostrucky Maddies though, coming in with another shot, coming in with another hit, but against frontal armor only dealing 1 damage. Leopard still should be careful though. Osa gets a hit onto the Tornado, but doesn't get the kill, and the cluster bombs of the Tornado deal with a couple of BMP3s. And here we have another Leopard 2 now pushing forward. Gets side-shotted though by an RPG, allowing Jasp now to move forward. T80 BVK trying to get into the forest. Jaegers here got decimated, down to only 2 squadrons. Are now in range though, and the cluster bomber is still around. Gets a good hit onto the T80 BVK, putting it down into routed mode. Jaegers are under fire, but can they get the kill here with the Panzerfaust? Ooh, they missed so far, but the T80 BVK still getting routed. Might show side armor once more. Jaegers here out of Panzerfaust. The other ones still have 3 left, but the T80 BVK is now disengaging. Oh! Not far enough though. Gets hit last second, and the Jaegers find the kill, so no leaders will take over the center. Jasp still at the +2, as there has not been a new leader here for Keech just yet, but he won't get the center. Jasp won't get the +5. Motostrelki over here engaging onto the Jaeger. Best of out of 69. This is like, if anything, best of 69. We had that in that had been best of 69 in StarCraft 2. I don't remember who did it. I remember it was 2 American players, if I remember correctly. But there was a best of 69 in StarCraft. But StarCraft games take a slight big short, like not quite as long as Skill Division games. So yeah, don't think so. Hey Heron Dog, how you doing? Thanks for the kind words. I appreciate it. Having a lot of fun here. +2 for Jasp. Our players getting engaged. And yeah, Jasp still at a +2, but under heavy pressure in the center. Leopard 2 now trying to find whatever is around here. Ooh, Motostrelki hitting it frontally. They could have waited to get a side shot. If they would have gotten side shots, they might have been able to finish off the Leopard. This way they don't deal as much damage. You want to be a bit more sneaky with your RPGs. Leopard here might win this fight in the long run. BMP3 still has its Zaklos left as they stole an Onimog. Oh my god, they got the sneaky here. Okay, that's big. Leopard still on now 4 hit points, so we'll be able to deal with the Motostrelkis. Yeah, if they would have gotten side shots against the Leopard, that would have been a completely different story. Like at least one side shot and then maybe a couple of frontal shots and the Leopard might have gone down. BMP3 misses with the 80 gem, so Leopard will survive. And we have a Leopard in the middle pushing as well, and Saperi RPOs don't have any AT weapons, so they won't be able to finish this. Motostrelki over here, they have one, so they get rid of the Onimog. Leopard 2 still pushing. Another Mi-24 with rockets coming around. As you can see, rockets really effective against infantry now. Gepards though on the move. Su-24 with HE bombs disengaging. Eating another roll on rockets, but there's enough Unimog supply trucks around here to keep the Unimogs supplied. But Gepards are on the hunt. Gepards now find the Mi-24. Mi-24 not disengaging just yet, and it is too late again, I think. Yes, here we go. Mi-24 bites the dust once more. And Jasp still under heavy pressure. Keech now gets the rear. And it's back to no taking at all. Leopard over here. Still alive, right? Or is it? Where is it? Yeah, no, that's not the one. Or did it just got fully repaired? Well, but there's 2 Leopard 2s in the center. There now comes a Leopard 1 leader as well. Ooh, Iltis leader is actually moving forward to get a +1 for Keech. Gives Jasp a +2 for a while though, as it gives up the control of the rear for now. Foxtrot still in hands of Jasp. No movement here whatsoever. Jasp tried to move in the north, but there is enough forces for Keech now to hold on to this pretty easily. Milan's Fuchses fired their Milan missiles as well. Milan's got a bit nerfed, but on the Fuchs they're still pretty powerful. They went from 22, which was insane penetration, down to 19. Which is a bit more balanced. Means they don't kill anything instantly anymore. Motostrelki coming in here with BMP 1 piece again, but without any tanks to back them up, the BMPs won't be able to just fight Leopards here. So they are a bit in trouble. Something to deal with the Leopard is missing at the moment, and as 39th you don't get TADUs, so you don't have anything that outclasses the Leopard. Everything you got is weaker than the Leopard 2. And as he lost the cluster bombers really early on, Jasp can't rely on air for that job either, for example. Leopard gets hit here, but as you can see, the Malyutka doesn't deal too much damage. So it really takes a lot of firepower to try to get rid of this, and it doesn't seem to work out. Down to 2 hit points, but only 1 BMP standing. More infantry coming in the rear. Infantry over here got wiped out. Keech now on a +3, as Keech controls all their points plus the center, and this is not looking too hot for Jasp right now. 5th Panzer, the classic division currently, seems to be on a good way. There's a leader unit here for Jasp that might be able to neutralize it in the center, as the Leopard obviously has to disengage for now. He got rid of the 2nd Leopard some way somehow. Keech not too resourceful with their leopards so far. Another one is in the north though. And there's really nothing protecting this point. Like, yes, all of Jasp's forces are currently in the center. There's not much holding the south, and there's nothing holding the north. So, any form of push onto this point would be a full-on success here for Keech. And for such a big investment, for all in investment to the center doesn't look that good for Jasp either. Tornadoes with Mehrzweckwaffen coming in. Trying to hit the Su-22 now. Su-22 tries to retaliate. Not quite hitting either though. And there's no AA in the south for Jasp, so the tornado will most likely be able to make it out if it... Oh, is it still trying to hit the Su-22? What is it doing? Su-22 will get its bombs dropped out, not hitting anything though, and the AA is still good enough here for Keech, especially as there's two Gepards right next to the point to easily defend this. EMP still engaging. Leopard comes around, has another leader unit. Tornadoes of clusters get rid of the BTRs. And this is looking quite horrible for Jasp now. Jasp bringing in more sub-parries, but I'm not sure what sub-parries are supposed to do here right now. They are more for town fights. Oh no, they are RPOs, so they are okay in forest fights, but they don't deal with tanks. And the tanks are a problem at the moment. Tornado, also a single OSA, not enough to reliably kill tornadoes at all. You always want to have two, or the Pew set, which comes in now. As I said, you want to invest into more AA at once. Because it's kind of a binary game currently. It's either you are able to shoot down planes, or you're not able to shoot down planes, and if you're not able to shoot down planes, your AA is kind of useless, because repair times are not that long that it's worthwhile just having AA around for damaging planes. So you want to have enough AA around that it's actually capable of killing off planes. Otherwise the enemy just can come in, bomb, and wait to repair afterwards and deal damage without having to worry that much. Now with the Piusa and the Osa though, the fire capabilities have changed. But the Osa goes down instantaneously after taking it. It took out one tornado, but it went down right after, so another annoying loss there for Jasp. Jasp now trying to be sneaky in the north, trying to get a leader into the northern part to contest that point, to maybe get a +2 again. As we only have 15 minutes remaining, Jasp currently more than 300 points ahead, which means Jasp is on the course for victory if Jasp can hold out. Question is that possible? Because the Leopard 2 now is also pushing in, gets rid of the Osa, so another AA piece bites the dust. So Keech can bomb this with impunity. Keech also starting to push in the south. TADBV here trying to help out, but there's two Leopards here, so it has to be careful. SU, ooh, not hitting either, and will go down. Yeah, the planes of Jasp are all on a one-way trip, it seems to be. Me-24s coming around. These are the AA versions, so they don't have that many rockets, but still 40, but not of the good, like only the 80mm kind. So they don't quite deal as much damage as the bigger ones. First one already stunned. Roland 2 is moving forward. Me-24 moving around. Ooh. We have some AA fighters now. Some starfighters coming around. Getting rid of the first Me-24. So, yes, push down here in the center. Not really working out. Keech back at a +3. And +3 means 120 points per minute. So, will easily be enough to get Keech to the win within 13 minutes. And Jasp is just running out of stuff. Completely running out of stuff here. Ooh, bomb hits. Gets a good kill on there. Another Me-8 MTA recon helicopter coming in, but that doesn't do much. And this looks like it's a GG. I don't see how Jasp can turn this around. More Jaegers now moving into the center. There's still a couple of Saperis and Saperi RPOs, but as I said, they don't deal with Leopards. They don't have any AT, so the Leopard alone can just run over them. The Leopard, even a Leopard 1. Not going super close, because then you might get hit by a TNT, and TNT still can deal damage to tanks, but like, as long as it keeps its distance somewhat, it will be able to get the kill. So, really not looking hot for Jasp here. Yeah, it seems like 5th Panzer once more prevails as the current #1 meta division, with Keech just getting the better traits in the middle. And yeah, killing off the enemy air force was a big part of this. Another SU-22 bites the dust. He has a bit too open with the air usage, getting too many airplanes killed for free basically, and also not getting enough AA to really keep the tornadoes at bay. +3 now means that Keech will have caught up to Jasp within the next 20 seconds, and after that Jasp will go and fall further and further behind, and there's just really nothing left here. Killed off the Jaegers at least. More Onimoks on the way. Leopard 2 now could easily push in here. Like, Jasp couldn't stop a contest of the south whatsoever, but Keech hasn't fully realized that just yet. Brings in more infantry for the centers. Tanks completely uncontested. As I said, no planes around who could kill them. AA also still would cover them. North, Jasp is on the way to try to sneak in the Saperi, but there is enough infantry here that to be able to kill that off if Keech is careful. And Keech now is ahead. And a contest of the north only would reduce the take off Keech. It would not switch it around. It would still be Keech on a +1 as we see it right now. So yeah, even with a +1, Keech still easily wins this. Doesn't have to worry about a draw whatsoever. Yusa coming in. And as I said, Keech realizes it. They can easily contest Foxtrot as well. T-64 coming in the north. 80 BV coming in the south. Or just Valkymatis getting hit by Pioneer flamethrowers. Leader is pushed out. Keech on a +3. 10 minutes still remaining. Leopard coming in for the center as well. There's 4 Leopards already. There's no tanks whatsoever on Jasp's side. There's nothing really with any AT. There's 1 T-64 coming, but the T-64 versus 3 Leopard 2s. Yeah, you don't have to be a fortune teller to see how that will go. And more reinforcements coming in here, and Keech just keeps on snowballing now. As Keech still has combined arms, while Jasp has lost all combined arms whatsoever, down to a couple of lonely units, and coming back from this point is nigh impossible. But Keech now is ahead of the 200 points that you need with the tournament rules to get the W. And here we go. Jasp surrenders. Keech gets game #1. And shows us that 5th Panzer is still rolling supreme. At least in this game #1. And I would say it was also down to Jasp just not playing resourceful whatsoever. Like, the infantry engagements at the beginning didn't went too badly, but yeah, the planes just got completely hammered into enemy AA. As you can see, Rolands and Gepards got a lot of kills. Mi-24s not being retreated fast enough. And then not having the best plans to get the Leopard 2s. Like, the behind the line actions and so on were good, but the engagements in the center just never went into favor of Jasp, or not often enough. And really, the AA giving Keech a lot of good traits here. in game number 1. Let's see how it goes in game number 2 in a minute. Here we return. Keech up 1-0. And Jasp is not doing any gambles anymore. Jasp is now joining the full-on meta. It's 5th Panzer versus 5th Panzer. So it's a full-on scale matchup. Like, yeah, it's a bit annoying that currently there's one division that is a bit above everyone. But with 6 divisions, bans don't really make sense. And yeah, so we will see a lot of 5th Panzer versus 5th Panzer on the current patch. Which means that, yeah, we will have to see if there will be any who is the better player with 5th Panzer here. Keech coming in with a lot of Jäger Aufklärers. Couple of Luxus and only 4 Jäger Aufklärers on the other side. A lot of recon going into the center here for Keech. Only 1 for Jasp. Jasp still bringing in most of their forces into the center though. Couple more forces in the south. Couple of Leopard 1s and the M48. The old American tank. Which basically is still, like, design-wise more so World War II than Cold War. Though obviously it didn't operate directly in World War II, but design-wise it's heavily outdated in the 80s. But it's a really cheap tank, and it can still deal with any transports or any infantry that is not in range to use its AT weapons. So yeah, why not using those? Looks here, engaging onto Jägers and Jäger Aufklärers, but the 20mm not dealing too much damage, and it now is in range of the Panzerfaust, so it has to be careful. Looks now disengaging a bit further. Infantry of Jasp together with the Lux though, good enough to stun down the Jäger Aufklärers. Should be capable of getting the W here in a second. Jäger Aufklärer under heavy fire. More Leopard 2A3s coming in. Leopard 1A5 moving forward. Martyr 1A3 with Milan moving in as well. Jäger Aufklärer coming in here as 2. Leopard 2A3 is engaging over here onto the Fuchses. Luxus engaging as well. Leopard 1A5 over here gets hit by the Aufklärer. Aufklärer gets hit here. Leopard's doing a good job dealing with it. One of them nearly going down though. And Jasp is pushing forward. Dealt with quite a couple of the Jäger Aufklärers. Only a couple of Sicherungs left here, and they can't really do much. Neither against Jägers really, because they don't have an MG3. Nor against tanks, because they don't have any anti-tank weapons either. So the only there is cannon fodder. Leopard 2A3 here gets engaged by Leopard 1A5s. Gets rid of 1. Is down on 1 hit point only though. And Keech brings out the smoke. Has the same AA setup this time, but the setup in front of it is starting to disappear. And Jasp is getting close to pushing onto it with Jasp's own Leopard 2A3 here. And this is not looking too hot, because this one is still undamaged, whilst this one basically can't take a fight whatsoever. Only a couple of Jägers coming in from the rear. And looks like Keech will lose the position in center. So, really good start here for Jasp. Already on a +2 now as well, as Jasp once more is the first one to bring in leader units. Couple more Leopard 1A5s coming in for Keech. Loses both Gepards and the Leopard 2 though. both Gepards and the Leopard 2. Roland 2 also most likely will fall to a Panzerfaust here. And this is looking quite horrible for Keech here in game number 2. Leopard 2A3 hits the Jaegers pretty well, as they're caught out in the open. Gepard moving forward to try to hit them as well, as you can use the range of the Gepard. 1000 meters against ground units, whilst all the Panzerfausts only have 700 meter range, so you have a 300 meter leeway where you can fire with the Gepards onto them without them being able to retaliate. So using the Gepards as anti-infantry is viable as well. And yeah, one of the Jaegers already down. Second Jaeger squadron will fall to this fire as well. Pioneers with Amprus coming in a focus of a Milan, but Gepard should be able to deal with this as well in a second. Meanwhile, Leopards over here deal with the Marder with the Milan, but Jasp has pushed pretty deep. Has a supply dock up here now to repair its own Leopard. Alouette moving into the north to help out with recon. And yeah, good start for Jasp. On a +4 by now, as Jasp is still the only one with leader units. And good perimeter around the central point, which should allow for CV in here as well. Not sure if this one is moving in. No. Stays up there. Next one going where exactly? Okay, this one is moving in over here. Would allow this one to move into the center to get control of that. And the +4 keeps on ticking. Leopard 2A3 gets a kill here. Keech has a Leopard 2A3 in the center now as well, but loses both of the Leopards 1A5. Meanwhile, more Pioneers coming in over here. +4 for Jasp. Another leader unit would make it up to a +6. And +6 is really fast tick. It's 240 points per minute. Leopard 2A3 here under heavy fire. Will fall in a second. There we go. Goes down. More Panzer Grenadiers coming in. It's 5th Panzer versus 5th Panzer. What? Not 7th. And +6 for Jasp. And yeah, I mean, with the current balance, not playing 5th Panzer is just quite dangerous. Hopefully we will get a patch soon. And yeah, more Pioneers coming in over here. Meanwhile, Leopard over here hits the Fuchs, hits the Aufklärer. Ooh, doing quite well. Jaegers over here. Jasp has a good setup down in the south. Leopard gets another kill. Gepard and Panzer Grenadiers holding out in front. Another leader unit coming in over here. Looks, engages onto the units. Getting some nice pins. Another Leopard coming in the rear. Iltis leader coming in here to stop the tick. Slight bit. 2 of them. 3 of them. Okay, that would even it out. But with the leader moving into the center, Jasp will get it up to a +3 at that point even. Uses the slow transports actually, leaders. I'm not a big fan of these. First of all, you get less of them. And second of all, they're slower. And I feel like missing out on a couple of ticks because you take longer to arrive at your position is big. These cost you like 5 or 6 ticks, or no, most likely more than that actually even. Like they take you like 20 seconds longer or so, which is like 15 ticks that you would get with an Iltis leader if you use those instead. So yes, now up on the +3. Even though Keech now brought in leaders. And Keech has no real forces around to contest the center anymore. Brings in more Leopards, but has nothing to scout for it whatsoever. So these most likely will go onto a one-way trip. And Jasp widens the perimeter around the central point, around the delta point. Leopards over here, keeping Jasp's forces at bay that push into the north. But there's more coming. More pioneers hitting the Aufklärers over here. Another leader unit to move into the northern point, together with a Leopard 1A5. The Leopard 1A5 of Jasp, of Keech, pretty low here. Bringing in more tanks, but tanks alone don't do much. Tanks need support, and Keech ain't able to offer that at the moment. So this game looks quite over, which would mean a 1-1 for these two players. Jasp had an okayish game at the beginning in the first game with 39, but yeah, just not trading well, and also showing a bit why 5th currently is the one and only division. Even though the RPK is also a pretty good LMG, but it's more so down to the tanks and the cost efficiency of the German tanks, plus a solid all-around AA tab as well with the Gepard and Leopards and Rolands. And another leader unit coming in now here. Ooh, just stopping short. Would give Jasp a +5. And Jasp moves it in a slight bit further. And Keech is on the ropes now. Onimog with ammunition coming around. Resupply the Leopard over here. Here we go. Jasp at a +5. Barney is moving over. Looks sitting around. And this is basically GG. This is basically GG. Jasp will win this second game, unless something completely insane happens here. Pioneer Rampost hitting the Leopards. Plus the bomber. Can it find the connection? Doesn't look like it. Ooh. And Gepard plus Roland 2s get the kill on the tornado as well. Yeah, once you lose your sophistication in your combined arms, it's just so hard to come back in this game. Especially as, unlike in Steel Division 2, there's no differences in incomes ever. So if you ever got behind, you are behind. Like, there's no chance of like coming back in the late game with Balanced versus Maverick or anything like it. It's pure and simple. If you lose more than your enemy, you're 100% behind. You have to work super hard to get it back, and it can often really snowball quite quickly, out of control. And yeah, Jasp at a +5, getting really close to victory here now. Jaegers, Penius and Rampost actually, not Jaegers, coming around here to try to finish off the Leopard 2. Armbrust not the most efficient AT weapon, but able to get the Leopard 2, which is super worthwhile, even if you lose all the Pioneers of Armbrust. Leopard 1A5 also damaged over here. Another one coming in over here. Jäger Aufklärers are around, capable of hitting that. Dealing 4 damage with the first shot. Getting the Leopard routed now. Will they get another Panzerfaust on target? Yes, they do. And the Leopard goes down. The other Leopard over here biting the dust as well. Really showing you that tanks without support are kinda easy picking. Pioneers over here throwing the satchel charges. Dealing some damage against the Leopards as well in the town. Looks trying to do some damage with the 20mm as well. Not capable of doing so. So the tanks at least will clean house a bit here together with the units over here. But there's still a Leopard 2A3 out here. These tanks now are damaged. Tornado with cluster also coming in to finish them off. And it kills all 4. As there's no way whatsoever to fear in the north. And this means that Keech can't push onto this position anymore. Has a Leopard 2, but there's one Leopard 2 and a Leopard 1 here. But Jasp still around. And Jasp is getting really close to the W now. Even kills off the lead, CV unit in the rear here. Bringing it up to a +7. Which is 280 points per minute. Which means this game will be over in a minute. F4F coming around as well, just to make sure there's no shenanigans coming in here in the skies. Leopard 2A3 is pushing in itself. And yes, really showing you, if you lose the early engagements, this game can snowball really quick out of hand. Like getting over your AA overrun and so on means you're in a world of pain. And Keech not able to recover from that. Especially as it is quite tough to push into established positions in this game with the current shape of form of how recon works and so on. Like, comebacks from weaker positions don't happen that often in this game. Especially compared to Steel Division 2, I feel like they just don't happen that much. Well, leader unit at least got killed in the north, but Keech has to be careful. Jasp's Leopard will fire first, will put quite a lot of damage onto the Keech's Leopard, will get the next shot, will get the kill. It's a +5. Here's the leader unit in the rear still killed off, and Jasp will win 2000 to 0. And GGVP here. 2 Jasp in game number 2. Evening it out, 1-1 in the series. Means both players will get a point this week. Or, like, week 4 that it was. So, yeah. It's a classic 5th Panzer versus 5th Panzer. And Jasp just played it a bit better. Got the way better engagements in the early game. Good mix of hooks plus... Yeah, not hooks. Of... What's it called? Looks plus infantry. Microing the looks not perfectly, but well enough. So that it did something. I'm still not the biggest fan of the looks, but it did its job. Yeah. Interesting that we didn't saw any Razits. I wonder how good they are now with their excellent optics. If they're worth upbringing, as they are somewhat expensive. But GGP to both players here in the series. Getting 1 victory each. And splitting the points. So yeah, time to move on to the next series. And yep, see you in the next series in a minute.